Welcome back, everybody. So, this is a little different than I had intended to do. This is a message from the ancestors that came through in the December drum circle, and you've been getting shorts of it and clips of it here and there, but this is the entire message. And before I go into it, I kind of want to give you a few notes of context. So, if you need to, just feel free to skip ahead. Hopefully, the seasonal bells I have on are not interfering too much with the microphone. I will do my best to not flail around too much. I make no promises. But first note of context is the way that our drum circles generally work. So there is a lesson, there is a journey connected to the lesson, and the lesson is usually reflective of the energy for the month, if there's an equinox or a solstice, the energy centered around that. And it's kind of, what can I do for the month to focus on and whatnot. Some people may use different motivational books or whatnot for each month, depending on how they want to do it. That's how my teacher did it. I think up until October, September, October was the last one, I think. I wasn't there for November, so I'm not sure. But that's how some people run. So there's a lesson, a journey connected to the lesson, a healing, and then messages. And this month I was supposed to essentially kind of manage or run the better part of it. My lesson was a little lacking. It's something I need to work on, but because I had come up with the journey of going to either the upper world or the lower world and releasing something. And during the healing, my teacher's guides stepped forward and made it abundantly clear that she was supposed to be the one to do the readings or deliver the messages. And we kind of got scolded a little bit because the spirit that she channels generally comes across very grandmotherly, very loving, kind of caring. We got the spiritual spanking of sorts. So that's kind of context number one. Context number two is this teacher I work with, I do medium circle with, or do psychic development circle. I do a lot of different things with her, and a message that had come through a couple weeks earlier, and I think even that week, had been trying to stay connected to spirit, trying to not let the outside world kind of influence your thoughts, influence your connectivity, because we're human and we get sloppy. It happens. You let the events of the day influence you. You end up on autopilot. You're not thinking about much else. You're reacting instead of being proactive, and you're not allowing your light as a person to shine brightly. Sometimes it gets dimmed. Stuff happens. So the message that we had gotten previously was another message to surrender things to your angels, connect to your guides, your angels, spirit, divinity, and be aware of the divine spark that is within so that you can shine, have gratitude for what's around you, be open to things, be open to receptivity and whatnot. So a lot of that message we had gotten prior, but obviously not everybody comes for the same things. So you have kind of transitory situations where maybe some people show up for one class, they don't show up for something else. So some of us got that message, some people did not. Context clue number 3. There were 4 of us there for drum circle, my teacher, myself, and then 2 other people. One of the people that is there, wonderful person, good-hearted person, older person, sweet, very, very sweet woman. However, she habitually gets the same message of stop taking on other people's things, stop absorbing everything, stop taking everything on your shoulders. I don't know if she's gotten the message to be receptive before. Open yourself to receptivity, be open to receiving. It has come through, maybe the wording has been different. I think that might be the case where it's like, stop, be grateful for what you have, be grateful for the things around you, see people in different light, that kind of thing. More of an acknowledgement of what it is to allow to give and receive. Context clue number 4. I work in a quiet space. This is a skill I never thought I would have to rely on, but it came in super handy. I work in a quiet space. When I started at this job, I had come from a retail setting, or really it was banking setting, where the phone was ringing all day. There were no phones. It was like angels singing. It's so quiet in the office. And one of the things before COVID is when everyone was in, every now and then you'd hear like a peal of laughter ring out across the department, or, you would hear people kind of talking and laughing very softly. But generally, what would happen is if you were having a funny conversation, or if you kind of came across something, or were working on something, or were watching something that maybe you weren't supposed to, we don't talk about that. That was just really funny. You couldn't really lose your shit because someone eventually is going to come over and be like, "What is so funny?" when you've been laughing for like 5 solid minutes. So you learn to adapt very quickly in that environment, and you learn to laugh quietly. And if you can't laugh quietly, you learn how to muffle sounds very fast. And it usually involves shoving your fist or some kind of long sleeved shirt, be it a sweater, a sweatshirt, maybe a blanket you happen to have, into your mouth, around your mouth, chew on something so that you don't laugh. You can laugh, but you don't want people to know you're laughing because they can hear it, because it's a quiet space. So we go through everything. And these are the messages that came forward. So you are in control of your own thoughts. Tell your brain to beautify your thoughts, to be at peace, to be a receptor as well as a giver. I tell yourself that I am here to beautify the world, to be a light to others. I beautify my thoughts before I speak so that I may speak clearly and speak from the heart. To do that, make sure you clear your throat chakra and your heart, so that no matter who you are speaking to, including people that cannot hear you, such as the people in the cars around you, you are speaking from the heart, you're speaking with love. It is up to us to control our minds, to clarify the self, to clear the self so that others can see the beautiful soul that we all are. You need to take responsibility to clear your brain of muddiness in order to have compassion for all. And that was one of those things, as a reminder of that you get sloppy. Sometimes you let your thoughts run away with you. You hyper focus on things. We as humans are programmed to focus, for whatever reason, our brains will tend to focus on the negative and not the positive. And that's where a lot of problems start to come in, because now you're hyper focused on the negative, and guess what happens? You keep manifesting negative things instead of focusing on the positive. And the idea is, which had dovetailed off of my thoughts, the message we had gotten previously, is that you need to find a way to stay positive, to look at things, to give gratitude for situations, and to keep your thoughts uplifted and positive, because whether you're anyone can do this. It's not just energy workers, but anyone can be a light to shine to others, can be that beacon in the storm, so to speak. And to do that, you have to speak from the heart. And sometimes that also requires stopping and taking a moment and really thinking about what you're going to say and the ramifications it might have. It's kind of like that old saying. What saying was I going to reference? Because the two just popped into my head. The pen is mightier than the sword, which was one of them. But words will carry more weight. A physical wound will heal, but mental and emotional wounds, you carry a lot longer. Just no one can see them. That was probably not where I was going, because I had a collision of thoughts. But regardless, you see where I'm going with this. So that was the first part of the message. The second one was about the seasons. So you can keep releasing until winter comes. Have compassion for yourself and allow yourself to receive. If you keep giving and not receiving, you're like a dried up corpse, because you are giving and not allowing yourself to be replenished. You need to love yourself first. Fill yourself with love for self, so that you can be who you are, and you are strong. You are the self. You are that divine spark, and you are whole. You are strong, and you will be sought out by others. You will be heard by others and those around you. You will be sought out by the people around you. And you are being called to be the real you. Fill yourself with compassion, to beautify your thoughts, and you beautify them for yourself. Handle yourself, and others will adjust themselves. So this is that idea of when you have love for yourself first and foremost, you can take care of others. If you are depleted, if you are always giving and not allowing anyone to help you, people end up cranky. You end up resentful. You find that the people around you are, they take you for granted. Maybe they take advantage of you. Because you're not allowing that receptivity to come in, you are unintentionally inviting in unnecessary conflict. It's a very strange situation, but it's that idea of letting people help you helps them as well, because it allows them to give you back whatever. And it might be emotional help, it could be receptive of love, it could be words of affirmation, of kindness, it could be physical help. There's a lot of ways that we replenish and help one another every day. That it could just be simple actions, it could be words, it could be the act of doing. There's a lot of love languages, so to speak, and there's a lot of friendships work in a lot of different ways. But allowing yourself to receive, because when you are always giving and giving and giving, it's tiring. It's mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausting. Let people help you. We're going to get to that in a second. So now you've probably also seen this short, because this is the third message that came in. With winter, you add on more layers. And that the more layers you put on, the more barriers that you are putting on between you and everyone else. So as you bundle up for winter, give gratitude to shine through the layers and to mitigate the layers between people. Say things like, give gratitude. Say thank you. Thank you, scarf. Thank you, jacket. Thank you, sweater. Thank you, mittens. Thank you, hat. Thank you, vest. Whatever it is you're putting on. Thank you, boots. But whatever it is, give that gratitude to act as a light to shine to others. So now, going back to receptivity, allowing yourself to receive, because there's another lesson in this video. Oh no. And I am refilming this because I was kind of guided to refilm it because I needed to give more context and clarity. Okay. So there are basically, I'm gonna oversimplify this, but when you get messages and you do readings and you receive readings and whatnot, there are generally three types of people. There are more, but we're just going to go with three right now. One is people that are open and receptive to the messages, regardless of what is going on. They're there for a reason. They're there for closure. They're there for help, for guidance, whatever it is. They're open to receiving, and they will take the message, whether they like it or not. There's the second group of people. They are open and receptive to messages, but maybe they keep getting similar messages. And this was me for a long time. I would keep getting, in oracle cards, I would get things that say essentially the message was like, be the real you, show the real you, shine the real you, blah, blah, blah. And other ones where I would habitually get readings to say you need to be more open to receiving. You need to be more open to receiving love. You need to be. What tends to happen is when this group of people, and I was one of them until I cleared out a bunch of crap, what ends up happening is they're getting the message, but they don't know how to fix it. And that's sometimes is what happens, is that you have this group of people, they're receptive to the messages, and they're there to take them. But especially if you keep getting a reoccurring message, sometimes you're like, I don't know what's expected of me. I understand I need to do something, but I don't know what that something is. And generally that's when there's some kind of, so you've acknowledged that there's a problem. You've acknowledged that you're like, I keep getting this message and I don't know how to fix it. So generally it means there's probably something that has to be cleared out. Now, whether you do that going to an energy, some type of energy work, or you figure out a way to release it on your own terms. It's going to be one of those two things. But you need clarity. And sometimes in readings you can get clarity, sometimes you can't because you still have that block. And because that block is there, the answers are not going to be as clear. They might be kind of distilled, or you'll get the answer, but it's going to bounce right off because you're not receptive to it. And then there's the third group of people. People that get the same message repeatedly and then proceed to disregard or argue with spirit. They're the ones that fascinate me the most, because it's like you've gotten this message before. I've heard this message come through before. I have delivered this message to you before. And still, we're still here. I don't know how that is. Generally, there's a blockage. In that case, there is most certainly a block, but the ego is also so far in the way that, oh no, I don't have that problem. Or people are wearing something like a badge of honor, and they're not willing to admit that this badge of honor is a problem. Oh. So, why am I telling you that? Because the person, one of the people at the drum circle, who has also come to mediumship and psychic development classes, repeatedly gets the same message. And in the journey, she was we'll sometimes go through and be like, oh, this is what I got on my journey. This is what I got. This is what I saw. This is what I was told. Because sometimes people, it helps them maybe to process it out loud, or what work, the message for one might be a message for all. Sometimes that happens. So she was saying that she was told she needs to release her ego. And this isn't the, like, in tarot, the devil card, where the ego or the devil generally represents self-destruction, the ego, addiction, blah, 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 blah. It's not that kind of ego. This is the ego that's like, oh, everything's fine. Everything's dandy. I don't have any problems. Like, everything's great. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. This is a great thing that I'm doing. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. Like, it's not the self-destructive part of the ego. I don't want to say it's inflated ego, because that's not fair. It's it's an acknowledgement that you are smarter than the messages that you're getting. You're not taking in that message. So this person had to leave early. And the readings had started, the messages had started. We got this message. I'm referencing my computer screen, like you could see it because I have it typed up because I had to send it out. But so we got this message. And my other friend and I are like, do you have any questions? She asked first. And then I waited a couple minutes and I asked, or 30 seconds or whatever. I'm like, do you have any questions? Do you need any clarity on anything? And we both proceeded to get, oh, no, I'm in a really good place. But please remember that spirit has a sense of humor. God has a sense of humor. And this is one of those times when it came out, because we're sitting there and we're asking her, and basically what came out was she's not going to ask a question because she's not open to receiving. And because she's not open to receiving, she doesn't want to hear the information I have to give her. The two of us. I look over at my friend. She has tunnel vision on the floor, straight ahead. Never in my life did I think the skill of laughing quietly would save my ass, because I was hysterical. And I wasn't laughing at her, I was laughing at the situation, because I'm like, you literally just got this message to let go of the ego. Literally. Not a half hour before. Yeah, give or take. Got this message from your own guides. You need to let go of the ego. And here, you have the ancestral spirits going, she's not going to listen. She's not going to listen because she don't want to hear it. My shoulders were shaking so hard I had to turn away. Problem is, I ended up turning to look at my friend with my hand over my mouth. I was kind of like this. I almost got hit from my friend because I was laughing so hard she almost lost it. The two of us are just like, oh, no. God bless her. Sweet woman, wonderful woman, would do anything she could to help someone, which might be part of the problem. But it was in that moment. This is kind of what I mean, is that this is the lesson. You have to be open to receiving. You have to be open to it. And the people that are open to receiving or understand that they need to be open and aren't sure how to fix things, they get it. Like, they understand. They're like, I know I need to fix this, I just don't know how. Or, yeah. But there's got to be a block. That's the only thing I can think of. And I honestly believe that on some level, when people are not open to receiving, they give and they give and they give, but they don't want to get back. They don't want help. There's something that's happened. There is a blockage there. Whether it's something with low self-esteem, it's self-worth, maybe there's a trauma response. People have proven themselves unreliable. So it's like, well, I'll just do it myself because I can't rely on anyone else. There's a lot of things in place when people are not open to receiving. And you have to be willing to admit that. You have to be willing to admit to yourself that I need help, whether it's spiritual help or it's physical help. And you have to be willing to let that help in. You also have to have enough love of self to do that. And sometimes that's where the disconnect is. You want to let it in, but you don't think you're worthy of it. You don't know how to love yourself enough to let someone else help you. And that is when, yeah, I think coming to see someone like myself or someone else, maybe therapy along with energy work. It's hard because everyone's situation is going to be very different. It's very individualistic. But that is the lesson that I wanted to give to you from the ancestors, is that you have to be willing to take control and take responsibility for your own thoughts. You have to be self-aware enough to take that responsibility for your own thoughts. But you also have to allow in. This is the season, people say this is the season of giving, but it's also a season of receiving. And you have to be willing to balance that out, or else you're going to end up incredibly depleted. And burnout is a very real thing. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to share this with you. Yes, the story was humorous, but there was a point there that that if you don't allow yourself in and you keep letting your ego get in the way, or you keep disregarding messages like this, it can create unnecessary conflict in your life, because there are people out there that want to help you, that want to let the love in, that want to show their gratitude, and you're blocking them. You're not letting them help you. Let them help you. Let them love you. So hopefully I can get this out tonight. It might come out Monday instead of on Sunday, but I hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed story time and the proverbial spiritual spanking, scolding that we all got from the ancestors. Not the first time, and I'm sure it will not be the last. Anyway, take care, my friends. I wish you the very best. Have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.